y'all, Broke here. I got another story from Reddit. High Holy Days hysteria, or how mother-in-law broke up with spouse via email. Hello, perhaps you remember my post about my mother-in-law calling our pediatrician when we asked her for a 2-week quarantine before seeing our preemie, NICU twins. And the follow-up about her threatening to show up and essentially break into our home if my spouse didn't call her back. Anyway, here's the update. I've heard the phrase Christmas cancer before, and I think it's applicable here. A few days before Rosh Hashanah, my mother-in-law emailed spouse and said, copying directly from the email, "Where do you see us as a family down the road? Do you see us ever having a meaningful relationship? I haven't seen your children or you formally for 10 months. I did what you asked, apologize, and 2 months ago you suggested lunch on a Wednesday. Where do we go from here?" Backstory. Mother-in-law sent spouse an email a few months ago with the non-apology apology. Essentially, "I'm sorry you took me incorrectly. My intentions are always good. No one will ever love you as much as I do. Please, let's have a relationship again." Spouse and I, thanks to our wonderful marriage counselor, decided that mother-in-law would be allowed to see the kids with spouse, but without me during these last-minute outings. Spouse relayed that to mother-in-law and said essentially, "We can't plan visits as twins are unpredictable. What I can offer is when I'm out with them and we've got time and bandwidth, I'll reach out and see if you want to join us." The key word here in her email is formally. She wants an invite and she wants the children to be presented to her as some sort of court-holding matriarch. I'm not sure if I included in one of my past posts, but 4 days postpartum, I had just been released from the hospital, but my twins were still in the NICU. We invited her to visit them with us, and after she sent me an email very upset that I hadn't gotten up to welcome her in the hospital room, nor introduced everyone to her, nor offered her my seat. Do what? You just had twins 4 days earlier. If anybody is giving up their seats, it's for you, the woman who's healing, who carried those babies, not for your mother-in-law. I was 4 days postpartum. We have seen her out and about a few times. It's a small town, and she has chosen to either ignore us completely, which is fine by me, or stand very close to us and then storm out past us, creating an, albeit small, dramatic exit scene. Back to the story at hand. Spouse responded after Yom Kippur and said that while they understand that mother-in-law wants regularly planned visiting time in our home, that won't work for where we are. So the deal, if she wants it, is still the same. Spouse will reach out when it makes sense, and if she's available, she's welcome to join. Here was her response. "This doesn't work for me. For me to see you and the kids a few times a year is not my definition of family. And I certainly don't call Thanksgiving once a year a family event. I will not be put in the position of being a stranger to my own grandchildren. I am sorry, but this is where I am. I can't fathom what I have done that you think I am so awful that I am not welcome in your home or around your children. You have broken my heart. I will always be here if you need me." As a last-ditch effort to highlight the ludicrousness of it all, spouse sent the following reply. "I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You do not want me to call you and invite you to join when I'm on my way somewhere with them by myself, or to keep you in the loop on their events once they get into them so that you can come. It sounds like you would rather never see them at all than see them once a month or so, which to my memory, for the sake of comparison, is more often than I saw my dad's parents, let alone yours. And I certainly didn't feel like they were strangers to me." And her response, which will remain the last response in the thread. "Right. I don't want to feel like an afterthought. It will be years before they are in activities. You saw your grandparents as often as possible. You spent the night at their homes. You were welcome in their homes and vice versa. Your plan is a poor second to a real family relationship. So, dear friends, it would seem that she would rather never see her grandchildren than not see them on her terms at her whim. I have $5 on her reaching out in 4 to 6 months with a random photo from an event, no context and no mention of this tantrum. Spouse is vacillating between numb, angry, and relieved. The current plan is to believe her and take her at her word and not reach out or make any kind of attempts moving forward. Well, there you go. She just made it absolutely easy for you. Seeing as she wants it her way and it will only be on her terms, but she has stated that she doesn't even want you to bother if they're not specific to her terms, she just gave you the easiest exit strategy. So take her at her word. Accept that strategy and move along.